And just like that, our little golden book is now bound. All 3 signatures are in. 5-hole pamphlet stitch. Stay tuned. Hi everybody, it's Julie and it's binding day. So today we are going to bind our signatures into our little golden book, and we'll do a couple of other little touches to the journal just to give you something fun. And so let's go ahead and get started. So we are going to start with our 3rd signature when we get ready. So we're going to start with our book here, and I have a graph paper page, and so I'm going to use that. I'm going to go ahead and, you know what, I think we're at the point now that we can go ahead, and I'm not going to do anything extra with these, so I'm going to go ahead and cut them off. Okay, I know some of you are wondering, what in the heck is she going to do with that? And I had an idea, and I played with it a little bit, and I need to work with it a little more. And so we're going to go ahead and just cut that even with the edge. Okay, we might be able to use that. Okay, so that is cut and ready. Okay, so let's go ahead and make our template. So we're going to start with putting this at the top, and I'm going to go ahead and just write top here. Okay, so that no matter what, that has been taken care of. When you have several signatures or more than one signature, you want to make sure that you use the same top on all of, sorry, I'm measuring and I'm thinking, it's all confusing. Okay, so I'm going to come over here. This is the other edge of my binding. Just happens to be like this. So let's go ahead and, well, first we'll cut. I did measure down and I got the bottom. Okay, so first I'm going to cut across at the bottom. Remember, this was a different size, so I've got a piece of graph paper I can use. And then up here I've made my mark for where the spine is. Okay. Okay, so there we go. And so the next thing that I do is I go ahead and fold this in half to find the middle. Okay, fold it in half and find the middle. I'm going to do 5-hole pamphlet stitch, and then I'm going to fold it this way. Okay, so side to side, top to bottom, and then side to side. Okay, so there and there. And now remember, I had a folded page, so I want to make sure I've got my true middle, which is right here. And I know that I usually like 6 or 7 of the squares of the graph paper that I use. So I'm going to count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to look at that, and if I go 6 more, I'm only going to be here. So on this one, I am going to add, I'm going to do 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have several sizes of paper in here, and I want them all to get caught in at least 2, 3 would be better, of my stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so that's where I'll be. Then I'm going to come down and do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so those are where my my holes are going to be. Now, if I was doing a single signature, this is all I would need. Okay, but now I need to go ahead and figure out where my other piece is going to be. Now, the thing that most people think is you just go ahead and fold this in half again, fold this to the center. But what's going to happen there is you're going to have a whole bunch of room for your book here and a whole bunch of room here and less room here and here. What you want to have is, you know, the same amount of room for both signatures. So say this one comes over 2 and this one comes into, okay, so if you were to give a book like this much space, and that puts you, we're just going to draw these here, okay, so that puts you there and there. And then if you put your next one here, and they'll each get 2. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to count in 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 on both sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. I hope that you understand that. So this signature is going to have this space. Okay? This signature is going to have this space. This signature is going to have this space. So, so that is why and how I do my choosing for when I have three signatures. Okay, so we're going to come down, and that was trial and error. My first one, I did the folded in half, and then I noticed that I had a whole lot of room here in the front, and it was very stuffy in the middle. Okay, so there's my template. I have my 5 holes. I've gone over 4 squares, so this one gets 4 squares, this one gets 4 squares, this one gets 4 squares, and the 2 outside ones are going to get a little bit extra, and I am fine with that. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is make the holes in my binding. And so 2 things, I need to attach I'm going to want to put this in place and have it held in place. And I'm going to use a butterfly clasp this time because that works really well for me. Or large paper clips. You can use a bull clip if you like. You'll find, you know, it's like try the different things and then you'll find what your preference is going to be. But just keep trying the different things. Okay, so then I want to make sure that I have my edges where they're supposed to be, and you can see that this needs to move over a little. Okay, so okay, and the most important thing is that you're straight. Okay, that when you do your stitching, that your stitching is going to be straight. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull this over so that we'll be able to go through. I'm going to use a push pin. You can use an awl, a bookbinding awl. I mean, I don't even know if that's what it's called, but I know it's an awl. It's a long pointy tool. I can't use it because my thumb and my hand won't hold it and I can't get the pressure. So I use a push pin, which is really kind of cool when you're traveling and stuff, that all you have to, push pin you can probably take, or you can pick one up wherever you are. Grab a thing of push pins. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and mark each hole. So I'm putting my push pin in and I'm rolling it around, and that's going to give me a little bit bigger hole, making it much easier to find it and to bind it. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and push in each hole. We'll go ahead and fast forward this part. Okay, so we are going to use this same template for our pages, or for our signatures, I'm sorry. And I'm still going to use the push pin. Okay, so let's go ahead, and I'm going to start with my third signature. We're going to start with the back. And so the first thing I want to do is I want to go through my journal and make sure that my pages are set up the way that I want them. So small pages like this, are they where I want them? You can take all of your inserts out. Will make it much easier to manage. So we just want to make sure, like if you have these small pages, that they are put where you want them. And remember, I don't know about you, but my journals seem to get a little puffy at the bottom. So some of these pages, if you can pull them up towards the top and still like the way they look, that might help with some of that for you. Okay, so just making sure everybody is where I want them. This is the center of my signature. And now I'm going to go ahead and make sure that my top and my bottom are stuffed in. Okay, so they're in line. Okay, and it looks like I have, okay, so that's a the one thing about the fabric in here is some of it is not centered. Okay, so now remember, your book cover many times will be bigger than your pages. Okay, but on the golden book, we are we right on? Yeah, we're like right on. So it's not as hard to go ahead and put your template in. You can see that the template is just like really close to being the same size. Okay, so now I'm going to take out my binding kit. Now I probably should have taken it out to show you before, but I have taken crochet thread like this, and I rolled it around a toilet paper roll, and then I folded the toilet paper roll so it would fit in one of these boxes. So if I am taking a kit with me to work on, I have a binding kit with me. Okay, so I don't want to have to go buy needles and the crochet thread and a pair of scissors. So I can have my basic binding stuff right here. And I've already taken a needle out. It's right there. But you can see I have some of the push pins in here and my scissors. And so I put that together when I was going back and forth to Mom and Dad's all the time last year. So, or it might have even been when I went to help with my brother. But it has been really nice to have it, and it's always all together. Of course, I check it before I leave because, you know, just like when you're packing, you want to check and make sure your toothbrush is still in the thing that you keep your toothbrush in. Okay, so most important is the top. Okay, the bottom can sag down, but you want your top lined up because when you put these in, you want everything to line up. Okay, so I've got my 4 large paper clips is what I'm going to use on this one. Okay, and I make sure that I'm in the center. Now I'm going to go ahead and I have this mouse pad, and that's what I'm going to use behind me. Now some people will put this into a book and use a book. There are cradles that people have so that they can put this in a cradle and do this. I just do it like this, and I just put that behind me just in case. So I'm going to go ahead, push through the center hole, and I'm going to go ahead and move it around a little bit so that I'm going to be able to put my needle through there. Okay, so in and around, in and around. But you see, I'm using a push pin again, and I have control over it. So, and if I struggle, I can go ahead and pull my other thumb over and use it to help push it through. Okay, so I have my 5 holes, and now we're going to go ahead and take the template out. Okay, the other thing you wanted to do there was make sure that all your pages were, you know, up, facing up. Okay, so we'll put this aside, and we'll put our template aside, and now we're going to need our book. But the next thing is our needle and our crochet thread. Okay, so I'm going to use it off the roll that's on my desk all the time. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. I usually give myself a little tail. I measure 1, 2, 3, and I give it a little bit more because I like signature things that hang off the bottom. The other reason is I would rather have too much thread right here than too little and get it done and not have enough. So that's how I do it. The other thing that I do when I'm doing several signatures like this, I don't have to do this on a single signature, but when I'm working with several, I'll go ahead and tie a paper clip on the end, because as I start moving around, sometimes I have had the center string come through when I'm on like the 3rd or 4th hole, and it's not fun. So I call this paperclip insurance. Binding insurance. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm threaded. I use a easy threading needle, so I just have to take my strings, pull it onto the needle. I don't have to thread it through the eye. And I have gotten those at Dollar General, and they come in a package like this, and you can see mine are all gone, so I have to get more. But instant threading hand needles for knits, lingerie, and elastic. I use them for everything. Okay, so here we go. Well, if you happen to bind your book in a single signature, then you can just undo it. It's okay. It's not rocket science, but this is why I don't like to bind on camera anymore. So let's try this again. So we're going to go ahead and start by going through our center hole. So we're going to go through this here, the middle hole, and we are doing the third signature, so it is our farthest one. And then we're going to come up through the next hole. Okay. And we'll go ahead and go in through this one. There we go. Pop it up and back out through the top one. Okay, and you see we are attaching the signature to the cover. Okay, so now we've gone back through the top one. We're going to come up through the second one. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to come in and I'm going to pull this string up. Okay, no, down. Sorry. I'm going to pull this one down so that when I go through here, I probably won't catch on the one that's already in there. For me, that's the biggest thing that happens, is that I catch on one of the strings that's already there. So this one goes this way. Come up through the same hole. So I'm going to go ahead and pull my insurance a little there. Now the insurance, go ahead and pull it up. Okay, and go ahead and start. Okay, there we go. And through the middle on the cover. And the fourth hole. I know some people do these by letters. They number their holes letters, like A, B, C, D, E. I like that. But I get confused. So up, through, down the last one, and if you seem to be stuck on something, it does happen. That. Now I've got to find the fifth hole and then back up and I'm going to pull that. So I'm pulling it the way that the string is. So I'm pulling this string towards in the same direction that this string is so that it's out of my way. Okay, and then when I come in here, you see it's going the other way. So I'm going to pull my string the other way. Okay, here we go. And now we want to make sure that all these strings get tight. Okay, so I'm going to start with pulling. Okay, so this comes up here so that it goes down underneath. So I'm going to go ahead and pull like that. Okay, so this is tight. Okay, and I'll pull this, and so now that is all tight. We'll come here and pull that one through. And you see, it's tight. And now we can pull this one through. Okay. And now we'll go ahead and tie it, and tie it again. And I'm going to go ahead and cut my strings quite long because I like them long. Okay, so this is my first signature put into this journal. And there we go. Our first one's in. Yay! And it does come right to the edge. I love it. So we're going to go ahead and do the next one. We'll go ahead and fast forward through it. Remember, our second one is the orange and black one. I've already gone through and checked my pages and made sure that I'm in the upright place and that everything is in order. And so the next thing I'm going to do is put my little template in here, and I've used a variety of clips on this one. So I have a bull clip here, okay, and you can see it goes on and down. I have a butterfly clasp here, and it holds. It's a little light, but it holds. And then I have butterfly clasps down here. Okay, so there we go. So again, I'll be doing the holes. I'll be cutting, well, the string's already cut. I have it already threaded, and here we go. If you're here for the premiere, I'm waving hi, and say hello to Lucy. Hi, Lucy. I'm so glad you're here and that you've joined us for this video. If you're here at the premiere, please come on over and say hello in the chat so that we can welcome you. And if you didn't know that we have premieres, we have a premiere every day at 10:30. And what that means, it's a pre-recorded video, and we're able to have a live chat during the video. So everybody's watching it same time, the first time that the video comes up, and that's 10:30 Pacific Standard Time. We also have our Scrap All About It with Dear Julie Facebook group, where we're able to continue to build this community and to encourage, inspire, and pray and help each other. And it is an awesome, awesome blessing that we've all had during this time. So thank you again for coming and watching one of my videos. I do want to let you know that the Christmas kits are on sale in the Etsy shop through the end of July, celebrating Christmas in July. They're 20% off, and that's while they last. So let's get back to our program. And there you go. We have bound all 3 signatures into this journal. Look at there. Look at there. Of course, remember I made the giant spine so that we would have room for all the decorating that you know I like to do. So all 3 signatures are now put in to the journal, and we'll be able to continue filling it and adding some of the other little touches that I like to do. So come back for that. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Find something to celebrate every day. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell. Down a little bit, but let's go ahead and we're gonna pull through all of the, oh, you know what I just did? Oh my gosh, we're gonna be doing this over again. I've added a video of how not to do binding over here, and I've added a playlist of making this journal start to done. Thank you again for being here. Have an amazing day. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.